Hi everybody, Bill and Andrew from MMPC Tech.
Good to see you guys again.
We're looking at Corsair's new 200R mid-tower case that just came out. And it looks like, first initial impression, very nice for what you pay. It's listed currently on Newegg for $49.99.
It's cheap, it's sleek. Front panel looks sort of reminiscent of an 800D. Really minimalist. You can do a lot with modding this front panel, so I like that.
Yeah, I see something's missing though in the front.
And what is that?
Something that should be just completely annihilated from here on forward.
The floppy drive. Yes.
Well, just 3.5-inch drive base.
Right,
period, yeah. 3.0 USB included with internal headers, head microphone jack, then the reset and power switch. And I believe these are illuminated. I don't know what color, maybe white probably. This front bezel is removable and it is plastic, but it does look convincing as it got kind of like a simulated grain in it, and it does look as if it was aluminum.
Sleek. And on the edges you've got this honeycomb mesh for the fans. Two 120s behind this front panel as well. One is included with the case.
You know what? Andrew, in a lot of these cases where we always see that gap under here, there's no gap on this. Just an observation. Okay, looking at the top, you've got the option for two 120s or two 140s, and there's also something different here I noticed. Andrew?
The fans are offset so that you can clear the motherboard and RAM with your Corsair H100.
Exactly.
Or radiator.
Makes perfect sense. Corsair is selling H100s like crazy worldwide. Why not have a case that caters to your product? And also, guys that wanted to aftermarket radiators too. I don't think you want to try putting a dual 140 in here because then you run into the problem again where you're going to hit the DDR. So, but no, it's really nice, and the finish too is a real nice matte black. I presume it's powder coat finish. So let's take a look at the back. They've got a 120 exhaust included. Something we noticed too is they've eliminated the inlet-outlet holes for water-cooled tubing, which a lot of manufacturers do. Well, because the H100 is going to be internal, you're not going to need to run the tubing outside of your case.
And they're kind of pointless anyway.
Yeah, I've never really used them. 7 PCI slots. There's some ventilation here.
Would have been nice to see a removable power supply mounting bracket. Makes things a little bit easier, but it's not a deal breaker.
Yeah, we've gotten used to seeing that feature in cases. Let's take a look at the bottom. You've got the option to put a 120 or 140 intake fan in the floor. They don't include a filter with it. That's just a little cost-saving measure. They do have a power supply filter, which is becoming standard on most cases now. Really decent ventilation. I like that pattern.
Yep.
That's pretty good. Anything else about the bottom? Well, we got little rubberized pedestals here. And
this is evidently for the hard drive cage.
Looks like it's removable.
Yeah, exactly. Like that.
Yeah, and did we do a review recently where there's just a ton of different mysterious holes on the bottom?
Yeah. Lee, maybe?
Yeah.
It's really clean. Nice. You can tell they made it for this case.
Side panel, you got the option for 120 or 140 fans. I know people always say, what about a window? I would imagine that Corsair will come up with a window option. Corsair has always had really good quality, metal and finishes.
Yeah, this thing feels really sturdy for being such a low-cost case.
And these little plastic grommets here are easily removable. They pop out if you want to go up to a 140 size fan instead.
A few things you'll notice. Motherboard standoffs come pre-installed, which is a nice feature. This will accept ATX, micro ATX, ITX, pretty much whatever you want to put in this thing besides the larger motherboard sizes. Included rear 120 fan, which is nice. They've also included one up front. Those are the only fans included with the case. You'll also notice there's some interesting stuff going on with the hard drive cage. Not sure if we love it or if we hate it. It looks kind of cheap, but as Bill will show how this thing works, and it's actually pretty slick.
Yeah, it's different. I'll hand him that. So then you just put your screw in through these holes. So you can put 4 SSDs in here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 3.5 inch drives. And it's just a heavy duty clasp here with a peg that holds it in. And it actually seems pretty durable. You know, it's well made. It looks different. You know?
And it looks like you don't even have to screw in the SSDs either, because they're clipped in.
Yeah, let's see.
That's all right. Didn't need that one anyway. But yeah, I like the functionality of this. What was Corsair's slogan for this case? More play and less work, or something like that.
Yeah, I think they said you only need to use a screwdriver once in their on their website for the 200R.
That's for the motherboard, presumably.
Yeah, for the motherboard.
So should be able to.
I like the design. It just looks different at first, but it makes sense. They introduced these toolless clasp steel ones on the C70 Vengeance, and they work pretty well versus the, your plastic style toolless latching, which I can't stand personally.
Yeah, and these look, decent.
Yeah, they look
and they're
clean.
sturdy.
Yeah, it looks good.
It is clean.
They've got the cable tie stamped loops in the back on the motherboard.
Slots all around for
Big.
running cables. No grommets, but
That's got to be
Awesome.
the biggest hole I've seen for accessing your CPU retention plates ever on a
it's-
mid-tower.
It's large.
Yeah.
You've also got space for 6-pin or 8-pin motherboard up here.
Yep. It looks good. We'll take a look at the other side and bring out our tool and see how much space it's got behind the motherboard tray. Not the hacksaw, Andrew.
sorry.
The ruler.
Sorry. Not yet.
Not yet.
So, let's see.
About 3/4 inch.
Could be a little tough.
It's respectable.
It's respectable.
For a mid-tower. Yeah. I would like to see more of these stamped loops other than just 3 of them. Why not have some more on here? There's a couple there, but the more the better, Anytime you don't have to use adhesive cable tie bases, it's nice. To use these tabs on the inside, pop it off.
Yeah, how's that working? There you go.
There we go. This is different how this is installed on here. It's got this rounded plate around it. I've never seen that before.
It is different. And evidently this fan is on the inside of the case, as you can see. And if you were to mount one down here, it would actually be on the outside in between the front bezel.
Yeah, they include 4 screws to mount an optional fan like that. So if you wanted to add...
Sort of obstructed by the drive
Well-
cage, but
Well, speaking of obstruction, ventilation, those holes on the side are the only ventilation you're getting to the front.
not the best for airflow.
No, I was just
purposes.
it does look nice and sleek like this, but why not have an intake screen grill on the front?
Right.
Just my thoughts on it.
Why not have one of these up front? Shameless product placement here.
Yeah.
It's gonna look gorgeous, and it is nice too because this does look like the brushed aluminum as well.
Yeah, it does work like a kind of a black anodized finish.
Really easy to mod.
Are we modding or reviewing the case?
Well, yeah. Sorry, we don't get too far ahead of ourselves here, but
No, another thing I like about Corsair is the I/O circuits are really nice. The switches are heavy duty, versus some you've seen like hot glued in. I've always liked these.
it's a nice assembly here.
Yeah, it's nice and clean. Looks durable. Yeah, that's basically it, isn't it?
Simple. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, final synopsis on the 200R.
I like it. What do you think?
I love it. For the price, it's great.
$49.
Yeah.
It looks a lot more expensive than it actually is.
It does.
Really durable, nice powder coat finish.
Yeah, I mean, think about a budget build for somebody, family member, friends, or even if you do OEM builds for that kind of money, it's really good price. My only nitpick on it was I'd like to see better ventilation on the front grille instead. I understand some people like this minimalistic styling, but I just want to see more airflow in there.
That is a good point. A few things I wasn't so fond of. The hard drive cage sort of looks cheap. It's an interesting design though, and it does work, so that's nice. Also, not a whole lot of cable management space in the back. You know, just makes things a little bit tougher, but overall, I like it.
I like the fact that it's offset for a radiator on top. You don't have to make any adjustment on your own.
Straight from
cutting
the factory.
anything.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really nice. The fit and finish overall is good. $49.99. I would buy one and tell my friends to check it out. You know, I'm going to bet that we're going to see a lot of mod projects with it over the coming months.
Looks great and it's cheap. Not much to complain about.
Yeah, so thank you Corsair for sending over the 200R for us to check out. Definitely you have our like on it.
Like it. So I'm just going to be installing handles on here. I'm going to put one in the back, which will be a little bit tricky because it's such a small space and there's actually some overlapping steel under there, so we'll have to be careful with that. And then the other handle will come up front here, which will be quite a bit easier. I'm also going to be removing the USB assembly up front just so that it doesn't really get in the way because there are some cords and stuff off the back side of this.
So I'm just putting some low-tack tape on here, and what I'm going to do is just find the center and then trace out so I can make some openings for these two 120 grills.
Just using our square here to mark off where this handle's gonna go. Looks like I need to adjust it a little bit.
Here is I've traced out two of the 120 openings for the grill, but instead of making two individual holes, just take a roll of tape and you can join the circles together to save time and just use a jigsaw to make one big opening versus having to do two separate ones. I'm going to make the initial cut with a rotary tool and a cutting wheel before I use a jigsaw. Next step is I'm going to use a jigsaw to make the main cutout. And this lovely Milwaukee jigsaw was donated to the shop by one of our founding investors. Look at
It works well.
it does. Slick. Yes, it lights up too. It's really nice. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just placing the bezel on a box to kind of collect the debris and prop it up. What I did is I just missed a little bit here with the jigsaw, so I'll just take a To put the fan on the back, I'm going to have to remove this guide peg. This peg doesn't actually fasten the bezel on, it just is a guide for straight insertion. So it's not going to be detrimental to remove that. These are really slick. This retails for about 60 to 70 bucks online. And if you have to make fan mounting holes as frequently as I do, and you don't have to bust out the drill each time and then like file down, deburr the holes, you can use a hole punch like this. And it has different size inserts that you put in. There you go. There you go.
Don't include that video.
It's a pretty good quality plastic for cutting into. I like it. I like it a lot. So ready to go, and then put the grill over and put our fans on the backside. Oh, this is just a neat little trick I want to show you. Since Andrew doesn't like labels and brand names and logos on things, we're going to remove these stickers. And I think it'll look good too. So don't take offense, Prelimitech. We still love your product. But I use a heat gun. This is the best way to remove labels and stickers. Not too much, you melt the plastic, you know. A little bit of goo on that one. Let's try this one. Don't melt the plastic. There you go. Quick and easy way to remove labels. You can also remove labels on power supplies this way too, or anything else that, you know, to get rid of anything you don't want.
All in all, easy case handles. They look good.
Here's mine. Like mine. That looks good, huh?
Looks a lot cooler than mine.
Yeah, this looks cool. Looks factory made, right?
It does. It's slick.
Corsair. Ooh. Just yeah, there you go.
See if the
Sweet.
handles work. Oh,
Nice. Nice. That looks cool, man.
those are good. That looks.
That looks
slick.
good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't it? It's very Gundam style. What we should do is power these up so at least they're do a shot for them running. Yeah. Cool. So how long did it take this to do that? About less than an hour or something like that?
30, 45 minutes max.
Looks like an assault land box to me. Pretty cool.
Yeah, the grill makes it look a lot more top dollar quality.
Totally aggressive.
It's cool.
You know, with this grill in here, I like how the vents are on the sides like that. And it would be cool to illuminate the vents, or like, you know, have some kind of red lighting here too.
Yep.
Play off of it, but that looks really cool. There you go.
240 Nautilus grill.
And then we put the billet handles on it too. But I think we didn't even get to doing a window. That's another thing we can do too, is a window. But just the 200R is a nice little blank canvas for somebody that wants to mount a case.
Right.
Possible project builds.
Uh-oh.
Look at Andrew's face.
I'm skeptical. Whenever Bill says he has something to show, it's usually a good thing.
Just some inspiration for an upcoming project.
Aha.
Colonial Marines. And the game is coming out in February, I believe? I'm not sure. I
I'm
think
not
it's
sure.
coming out at the first of the year,
Not sure.
the Colonial Marines game.
I love the aliens though. Alien movies though.
Oh, this is pretty good. Oh, more pictures.
So if you want the behind the scenes, Bill goes online and orders a book, looks at some pictures, and then says, "Okay, I'm gonna make a case."
I just watched the movie over and over. Actually, I've been talking to Graham at Custom PC UK in Scotland, who retails MMPC Tech products, and we've been kicking around the idea of doing a case mod for him to give away. And this was the idea I proposed, was the Colonial Marines, which I'm a huge Aliens movie fanatic, and the game coming out, so I thought maybe I could use this chassis for this.
It's perfect.
Yeah, cool. Does that grill really fit the theme though? This Nautilus grill?
Yeah, why not?
Think so?
Well, depends on what you're gonna do.
What
with
do you
it.
think, Brian? You've seen the movie. He won't talk.
He's a mute.
He's a mute.